Welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.
And absent, we need God. Because only God can bring us out of this mess.
I may not look like you and you me, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Dare to be you, dare to be me, and dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, and dare to be
All right, Larry, would like to welcome you to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself? Thank you for having me.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Sun is coming up. Kids are going into school smiling. I like that.
So we're talking with dear friend, Mr. Larry Gaines. Show your face, Larry.
I'm sorry.
Now, Larry, you've been working out
Good morning, Baltimore.
You've been working out in the community for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And you've seen a lot of elections come and go too.
Yes, sir. A lot of heartaches and a lot of disappointments along with that.
Run for mayor already. You know you're in there. They telling you to run for mayor.
Who, me?
Must be. I know it ain't me, because I wouldn't.
I think they barking up the wrong tree. They got messing up.
I ain't trying to get you in no trouble. Okay, so we're gonna leave that mayor's thing alone, because that's a whole.
That's trouble. That's trouble waters over there.
So Larry, where you from?
I'm from Baltimore, born and raised.
Are you from West Baltimore?
West Baltimore, West Side.
So you also like dealing with the schools and the young people, teachers, principals.
I've been doing that for a long time, Don. I work at a school, been working at a school for a long time. I used to get the gym where the kids can go shoot some basketball. Used to take them on trips to Six Flags or make sure at graduation they had something to do. You know, I would ride through the community, a child graduate and playing in the street in their graduation clothes. So that bothered me. So we started doing banquets, you know, graduation day. Come on, y'all. We go down here and we're going to have a reasonable meal. Everybody can do it. We did it at Shiloh, Heaven's Gate. And I think we went to the Forum a couple of times, but we always wanted something for the children to do. We would take them to Six Flags, making sure all the children had something to do during the summer. I don't do as much as that no more, but that's what we did at many years.
So Larry, we have a lot of unions in this town, and when I got your memo, I wasn't sure initially what union you were talking about. You said union election because, I mean, there's so many unions. The last union that I remember doing an investigative report on, are you ready for this?
Come on.
Was the MTA union.
Wow, that goes back.
And let me tell you, there are people who take them unions very seriously.
They should be. They should be taken serious. Even the leaders.
Now, Larry, you wanted to promote an event. You wanted to promote an election or something?
Well, see, this is what it is, Dan. BTU, Baltimore Teachers Union, is having an election. Tomorrow, they're having, you got the Progressive Caucus, and you got the Union We Deserve. So one group is having an event at the park tomorrow, and they're inviting people out. They got the guy Shorty with the barbecue. He's going to be out there, and they're going to have a lot of fun. But this is my thing, Donnie. Let's take a walk down memory lane. Do you remember, this a ways ago, do you remember 2004, the city said we have a deficit, we have money shortfall, and they had a great big election that year. And all the teachers went over Polly to vote on taking a decrease in pay. And they voted it down. And then some kind of way the union allowed them to put it back on the table. And in my opinion, that was a sign of weakness, right? Because when your membership say no, the answer should be no. It shouldn't be negotiated. And then, we all watch everything. You said something about the MTA. You keep your eyes on it with the different things that they do. But in my opinion, when they allow somebody to come to them and say, hey, we need to put that back on the table as a sign of weakness when your member said no. And if you look at it, from that day to this day, school's been out of control. We don't have a say. We don't have a voice because they know that they can say anything and do anything.
Okay, Larry, you come, I come from the same corners you come from.
Yes, sir.
If everybody on the block said no, but the leader said yes, then that means that the leader got paid to go the other way.
Something happened. And when that happens, right, that breaks up your solidarity. When you have solidarity, when the ones say no, all say no. But when you say, the members say no, and the leaders say yes, they took a cheeseburger, French fries, it took $1, whatever they did, it shows weakness in your program. And when somebody see a crack in the program, other people are looking for a way up and a way out, and they're coming there and say, oh, all you got to do is this is the angle. We all looking for angles, right? And when you got a solid program, people can't come in and compromise you.
So, like, in my coverage of unions, what I'm trying to say is those elections can be as tense, as intimidating as
the governor's race,
as bullying, as much as a regular election.
Yes, it can be. Yes, it can be. But the sad part about it, Don, is that people is just as tense, just as emotional, and people do a lot of things. Sometimes we say and do things that we regret later after the election is over with. But when it's said and done, we say, hey, was it worth it? How did our community benefit from it? And we are split in our community on a lot of different things, a lot of ideas, a lot of how to do things, which way to do it. We see it every day. My opinion, when you have a strong people speaking up, they listen, right? They listen real good. See if this makes sense. When the union voted down the pay cut, the city had to go back and find the money. They say we don't have it, but when we voted it down, they went back and found the money. So when they found the money, that told us when they don't want to work hard, but when you force them to, they work hard. We have a lot of issues. We have a lot of unions and a lot of people there, but when everybody stick together, we get good results. When they don't, we get bad results. And you can start from crime, the schools, everything. It's important that everybody be on the same page, and we're not.
This is the only thing I don't understand, Larry. And this is my one critical question of the BTU.
Okay.
Who is the president?
Diamond Tate Brown.
Who was the president before her?
Marietta English.
How long was Marietta English president?
A long time. I don't know how many years, but it goes back at least 18.
She been over there 18 years, and it was another lady too, because it would vacillate between one was a slimmer lady and one was a
Sharon Blake.
yeah, and
Sharon Blake came in there. Blake come in there for a minute.
I just never understood how you had the same people in place for 20 years.
See, Donnie, it's just like the mayor's race. One thing that we all been asking people to do is vote, vote, vote. I've been out on election day. I've been on the polls for a long time. I'm over in the 40th. I think we have 38,000 registered voters. But usually on election day, you might have 8,000 to 10,000. So that tell you a lot of people not buying into it for some reason.
Well, whether we buy into it or not, decisions get made based on the people that the masses vote for.
And that's the truth.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the truth. And we don't always know how to leverage our vote. We don't always know how to make our voice heard. You know, if you look at some of the more affluent areas, if they have a problem over there, say Roland Park, up there off of all the areas, just say anywhere but North Avenue, they address them real quick when people get riled up. And I really believe this, that they look at, do these people vote? Are they going to hold me accountable? And some of our areas are low voting areas. But when people vote, they got to listen because they know that we have the power to send them back home. And we don't always do it. The community associations, I'm not sure really all that. You know what I mean? I don't see where we are exercising our power as one collective force, or just say 60% of the collective force.
Okay, so you're encouraging people to vote for who?
Diamond Tate Brown with the union, and I'm encouraging people to pay attention to the governor and all the rest. And let's see, you know, it's all over the place, you know, but we know for a fact that we have to be involved.
So, like, one other question. Do I see more non-Black teachers in Baltimore City public schools than Black teachers?
I'm seeing a lot of non-Black, yes. I don't see the whole school system, but I'm seeing more non-Black, yes.
Now, the last time that I covered a rally over at school headquarters, I remember seeing white teachers 2-to-1 over Black teachers.
And well, one thing, I don't know if that's how the school population is, but I do know this for a fact, that they'll show up and show out quicker than we will. Are we burned out and tired? You know, there's a lot of Black teachers, but Black teachers don't always show up and show out. Are we tired because we think we're going to get the same old thing? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. But we have to do something as a group. You know what I mean?
Now, you've been in there 18 years. How many more years you going to work?
Wait a minute, Donnie. No, that was 18 years ago we had to vote. I've been in there 21.
21 years.
Yeah. I can file for Social Security in about a few months, right before Christmas. So I'm not going nowhere, but I'm gonna get my check, and they make me mad. I can go somewhere else. You know what I mean? As the old folks say, I'm fixing to go. I'm not going. I might leave the school system, but I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Larry, how are the young people and the adults handling the pandemic, the re-emergence of the pandemic?
That's everybody wearing their masks, right? We have a lot of questions there. Like, you know, if you get an outbreak, what do you do? The rules change. It's a moving target. So it ain't nothing is set in stone. We're looking at the news and they're saying, come on, Clarence, we're seeing more increases in COVID, right? But they're not, they shut down one school, but I think they are trying their best not to. So we're having issues. We're having concerns. It's almost the end of the school year. I think we got 3 or 4 weeks left. And I guess they want to make it in. But my thing, I want to be healthy. I want to enjoy retirement when I get to that day, when I decide to go out. And I'm quite sure there's a lot of other people saying the same thing.
Good deal.
You know, so I don't know. It's moving. It's a moving target. People, most people wear their masks. They take that part serious, but they keep changing everything. You know what I mean?
Larry, is learning taking place, or our young people learning?
Our people are learning, and honestly, I'm walking into a building. I think they're spending too much time on the bad kids and not giving enough attention to the kids that are doing good. We are looking in the wrong place sometimes. You know, we have a lot of kids that are doing great. And as you know, we look in the paper every day. Go ahead to the class. As we look every in the paper, we see 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds shooting and getting shot. That's not good. Nobody. For nobody. We have to do better. We have to have consequences, right? And everything starts at home.
Yes, it do. Any final thoughts, Larry? Thank you for taking time to come out. You know, we always want to know about STEM updates: science, technology, engineering, math. Anything to tell us?
Yeah, I totally believe in it. You know, my son Chris, I remember he got a job making $50,000. And I ain't never had a job where they started me off $50,000. He said, Dad, I'm going to quit. I'm like, how did you going to do that? But today he's making triple, double that.
And he's an engineer.
He's an engineer. He went to Poly. He had his little bump in the road. But he's an engineer, and he's doing great. And sometimes he talk about law. And I say, well, you got to look at somebody like Billy Murphy. He went to school for engineering, and he ended up being a lawyer. So I have to look at people and situations to kind of understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Because give me a job making $60,000, you had to beat me in the head to make me leave. But they jump jobs like nothing. But they making, him and his little crew that came out, they making anywhere from 145 and better. I'm like, man, I made some bad choices.
But you're a good daddy and a good granddaddy. Larry Gaines, we want to let you get back to work. Thank you for taking time out to join us today.
Thank you for thinking about me, man.
Always.
God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Larry Gaines, Baltimore Teachers Union.
Come on, get your breakfast.
Election is coming up, and we encourage people who are involved in Baltimore City public school system to vote for the ticket that Larry's suggesting, Diamante Brown, for Baltimore Teachers Union president. Special thank you to our many sponsors. Scott Phillips, running for House of Delegates out there in the 10th District. Corey McCray, he's leading a team over in East Baltimore. Of course, Corey McCray is running for state senator. Jackie Addison, Kaylin Young running for delegate. There's no mention of Stephanie Smith on that ticket. I got to tell you that I'm taking a planning course, and Stephanie Smith, who works down at planning, has been so helpful. It's my first time meeting her, but she has been so helpful in her professional life, making sure that we, the citizens of Baltimore, all of the citizens of Baltimore, know what's happening when it comes to planning and zoning in our communities. Bilal Ali is running for House of Delegates in the 41st District. We want to encourage people in the 41st District to consider a vote for Mr. Former Delegate Ali. John Anderson, he's running for sheriff. Wes Moore is running for governor. And that's what we have right now. Mr. Hannah Blue. Yes, she does really care about what's happening to the people. Nonetheless, my name's Donnie Glover. I want to thank you for joining us today and have a beautiful day. Mr. Hannah Blue coming up at 10 a.m. Good morning, world.